The topic of today's video is Ableton versus Reaper. So let's get the basics down here. Ableton Live launched in 2001. The latest version, Live 12.2, I believe that is the latest version, was designed for both studio production and live performance. This is, by the way, where Ableton excels. It has innovative features like session view and real-time warping. It's ideal for electronic music producers, DJs, and especially live performers. Reaper, released in 2006, known for its tiny install size, massive customization, and support across Windows, macOS, and Linux, is suited for audio engineers, recording artists, and budget-conscious users. Now, the key features for Ableton Live would be that dual mode interface of session view plus arrangement view, excellent time stretching, smooth DJ style workflows. So both of these DAWs are going to be linear as opposed to something like your FL Studio. And it's so intuitive for performance-orientated users. You'll have people saying that Ableton should maybe not be your first experience with a DAW, but I think it definitely should, as if you learn to use Ableton, it's going to be much easier to step into other DAWs and collaborate as opposed to somebody who uses something like FL Studio. Now, Reaper, on the other hand, has a highly customizable layout. It's track-based with deep scripting capabilities. Now, one thing to note is there's no real preset workflow. It's super versatile, but takes some time to set up. Once you do set it up, though, you can basically create your own DAW interface from within Reaper. Now, Ableton Live can be CPU heavy with complex projects or heavy plugins, but then again, what DAW isn't? Reaper, on the other hand, though, is extremely CPU efficient. Benchmarks show Ableton using 45% CPU versus Reaper's 15% on the same project. Now we get into the thing I love about Ableton Live: instruments and effects. Ableton Live comes with a rich sound library: synths, wavetable, collision, sampler, analog modeling, Max for live devices. Ableton Live comes with rich sound libraries and synths. Depending on which version you are buying, you might need to free up some hard drive space because you're looking at 40 gigs or 80 gigs worth of sounds. So this is really an excellent DAW for creative sound design. Now, Reaper, on the other hand, has basic built-in tools, all the things you're going to need, like EQ, compression, reasynth, but relies heavily on third-party plugins. So while Reaper is very affordable, you might end up spending more money on buying third-party plugins. Now, next on the list is audio and MIDI editing. So Ableton Live has top-tier real-time clip editing and MIDI manipulation, warping, and clip automation. Reaper as well has superior audio editing, comping, multi-take handling, and routing flexibility. If we're talking live performance versus studio work, Ableton Live, it's in the name, is built for performance with its session view. It integrates seamlessly with looping like Launchpad or the Ableton Push. Reaper is the best suited for studio tasks, tracking, mixing, mastering with solid performance mode plugins. Now let's look at the pricing. So Ableton Live has 3 plans here. They have their Live 12 Intro, which gives you essentials. That's the word they use. 16 tracks and 5 gigs plus of sounds. So this is very entry level, and at the price of $99 it's quite pricey for something so entry level and so limited is the word. Now, don't get me wrong, you're getting access to quite a lot here. It's just compared to Live 12 Standard, which is $439, you're getting 38 plus gigs of sounds and instruments. You have unlimited audio and MIDI tracks, unlimited scenes, and 256 mono audio input channels, as well as a few other things like Rex file support and POWR dithering. And then there is the complete package Live 12 suite, which gives you 71 plus gigs of sounds max for live and all instruments and effects. You're looking at $749 US. This is the complete package. Now, if we jump over to Reaper, much like how Reaper does things, they have a more streamlined pricing setup. So you can buy a discounted license for $60. However, with this discounted license, you have to be either an individual, and Reaper is only going to be used for you, your personal use, nothing commercial, or you're again an individual or business using Reaper commercially and yearly gross revenue does not exceed $20,000, or you're an educational or non-profit organization. So this is really cool of Reaper to even provide a discounted license, because this is the full package. There's nothing limited on this $60 pack. Now, if you are stepping into commercial use, you need to buy the commercial license at $225. Again, this is the full package. Now, when it also comes to user interface, I would usually say that Ableton is maybe the ugliest DAW I've ever seen, but Reaper does exist, and Reaper takes the cake on just looking archaic. However, Reaper has tons of customization, so we can easily change up the look of Reaper. Ableton Live, you can change it up and it does look way better than Reaper, but I'm just not a fan of either interface, though in terms of usability, they are both highly functional. That's just a little nitpick of my own. So what are the ideal use cases here? Choose Ableton Live if you're a beatmaker, live performer, DJ, or electronic producer. You need instant creative workflows, live jamming, and tons of built-in instruments and sounds. You prefer ready-made clips, tools over heavy customization. Choose Reaper if you're an audio engineer, recording artist, podcaster, or need clean routing. You want efficient resource use and a one-time affordable license. You don't mind customizing layouts and plugin chains. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment which DAW you use, Live, Reaper, or both, and I will catch you in the next video.